Slava Jesus Christus, Slava Navika, glory be to Jesus Christ, glory be forever. It's Father Basil again. Hope everyone's doing well wherever you're listening from today. So I just took my son to a park in a neighboring town, and he's playing with some kids, and it's nice when kids play together, when kids do all the things they need together, and cooperate and share and learn from each other. If only countries could do the same thing. We have wars in this world, hatred between nationalities, hatred even between neighboring countries, as we know in the many wars happening right now as we speak. Ukraine and between Ukraine and Russia, and in the Middle East, there's wars between countries and nations and peoples. And how do we prevent war? How do we prevent war from starting? Well, I've talked about this many times over the years in these podcasts, and of course, the main culprit is greed. We're greedy. We want something that doesn't belong to us. We want something that's not ours. So really, the only thing that we can do is to learn how to live within our means. And it's not, we think that it's the politicians or the generals, the armies that are the bad people, but it's really the whole nation that when they become greedy, when people of a nation become living beyond their means, wanting more than they really need, this I think is what's the culprit more than anything. And unfortunately, wars are part of our world. And, here in North America, we have examples of many wars when the European nation came against the First Nations here. And it's unfortunate what happened, let's put it that way. It's unfortunate that we couldn't live together in peace. We couldn't live together in harmony, and that, there's consequences now because of the hatred and the violence that people have against one another. And we have to remember God created everything in this world. When we say, well, this is mine, and this is, this land is mine, or this parcel of land is mine, it's God's. It's not yours. You didn't make that land. You didn't make that parcel of land that God gave to us. It's everyone's. So when one nation, when one people say, well, you can't have this land because this is mine, it's God's. And yes, we can use that land for our own purposes, but to say that it's mine, it belongs to me, that's a fallacy. Nothing in this world belongs to us. Everything is God's. And we're just using it for our purposes, what God gave to us. So yes, there's land, land issues, is something that's going to be complicated all our existence, because we don't understand how everything is God's. When we get greedy, when we need more than what we need, when we want more than what we need, this is the problem in this world, and especially with land. How much land do we really need to survive? And how big of a house do we really need? how big of a garden or field do we really need to survive. And then the more greedy we get, the more problems exist from this. Because we want that land, we want that money, we want this. And we forget it's God's. Everything belongs to God. So again, I'm not saying that there's not such a thing as personal possessions, or personal property. Even in the Old Testament and in the Bible, people owned different parts of land. But I have a feeling that they're so yeah, this knowing that it is not, we don't own this property and this earth forever. We're just using what God has given to us. And that's important to understand. This is so important to understand, that we're using what God has given to us. And we have to be generous to one another. We have to share with one another. We have to, not say, well, this is mine and you can't have it unless you do this or this or that. No, that's not right. That's just not right. And again, I'm not saying we can't buy land and we can't buy property, but again, how much do we really need? How much land, how much property do we really need to live a good life? We don't need to be this greedy. We don't need to be this yes, okay. So anyways, my son's calling me, so I better go. And I just wanted us to remember that. Don't be greedy. Please use what we have and be happy with what God has given to us. And share what we have. Be generous with one another. God bless.